Hi, welcome back to a new episode. In this one, we are looking at ZOM stock or Zomedica because this stock has seen quite a big increase over the past 5 days, but most notably over the past month, where if we look at the share price from the start of this 30-day period up until now, you can see an increase of about 162%, which is quite a big increase overall. So the question for this one is it going to continue to rally upwards? What may be causing this, and what can we see going forwards? Well, of course, I am not a financial advisor, and I'm sure you already know that, but if you do enjoy the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as we are trying to grow the channel as fast as possible. Of course, each subscriber does help us on that journey. Guys, of course, if you also wanted to support the channel financially, you can do that by pressing the join button, which is next to the subscribe button down below. And of course, with that being said, let's jump straight into the episode. So guys, yeah, Zomedica stock has seen a huge increase over the past 30 days, as you can see on your screen. We started off this 30-day period on the price of about 98 cents, and we come to an end of this period on a price of about $2.58, which is really quite a significant increase overall. Now, looking at this chart, I personally do believe that this one is in a fairly decent position. I think this company's fundamentals are pretty fantastic, and I think it really is going to help the company going forwards. So usually when we see a stock that's gone from a penny stock to, still penny stock territory, but a bit higher than what we would previously expect, I usually say it's a bad thing. But looking at Zomedica and the fundamentals of it, it really does have that potential long term to see this stock explode even higher in the future. So far, I'm not too concerned about how much we have gone up. Of course, looking at this one on the past 5 days, we can see quite a lot of volatility actually. We saw a bit of a sell-off on the 9th of February, and from that point we've been building up in share price ever since. Now, of course, from that low point on the 9th, like I said, up until now, we got up by a stable 19%. So of course, not the biggest increase that we could have seen, but I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think it is a fairly decent increase to be seen in that period. I think right now, Zomedica is not at the worst entry point that we could have seen. I definitely think Zomedica, from a fundamental standpoint, is going to be a buy and hold stock for the next few years. I think in that period, it definitely does have some potential. I think in the next year or two, if this, momentum does carry on, which it honestly could, we could see this stock hitting $10, maybe even $15. I think, yes, that is a bit of a high estimate, but honestly, I think $5 would be a very reasonable estimate. And of course, I do think it does have potential to go much higher than that. So of course, looking at what the fundamentals actually are and what the company does, going from investors.zomedica.com, we can see that it basically works in advancing animal health and veterinarian success. So we're not going to read much more than that, but that just gives you a basic field of what the company does. Of course, if you do want to learn a bit more about what they do, you can just have a look on their website over here. But it's a very interesting industry, and I just like the way that they work with animals to basically improve their lives. It's very cool, it's very nice, and they have a very cute cat on their front page, as you just saw. But yeah, guys, seriously, Zomedica really does have some potential. I think now a lot of funds are getting onto that. The first thing that I want to talk about is specifically Vanguard. So if we do have a quick look at this article here, which is on fintel.io, we can have a quick look at this title, which basically tells us that Vanguard Group has increased 79.47% of a prominence in their ownership of Zomedica stock over the past few days. Now, this article apparently came out on the 12th of February, so of course only a few days ago. I think this is another piece of information which just shows how crucial, companies like this, i.e. the investment firms, are when it comes to boosting their share price. I think it shows how much they believe in a company like Zomedica, because obviously for them to increase this position by 79%, it shows they must have quite a lot of faith in the company going forward, and I completely see why. I think, you know what, guys, this move alone is really going to help the share price going into the next week, and I think Zomedica definitely could see a bit more of an increase this week, but we're going to talk about that in just a moment. Another thing which I want to talk about, which is also from fintel.io, is the amount of shares bought by different institutions. And of course, if we do have a quick look on our screens, we can go to the ones which own the most, and we can see Vanguard is at the top. But you know what, a lot of institutions are up there. Some you may have heard of, some you may not. We've got companies like BlackRock up there, who have about 8 million shares. Obviously, Vanguard have got about 19 million. We've got Cambridge Investment and Research with 12 million. So of course, a lot of people, or at least a lot of institutions, hold quite a lot of this stock, and I think this is another good indication for this stock going forwards, as I personally do believe it shows that these people, or at least these companies, do have faith in a company like this going forwards, and I think this is going to be another indication which hopefully will help the share price going forwards. I think just the fact these institutions have picked up so many shares is going to have quite a heavy influence on the share price going forwards, as now a lot of retail investors and other people will be thinking, okay, because the big people have picked it up, it probably is a decent buy. And personally, guys, from a fundamental fundamental standpoint, like I've said earlier in the video, I think it definitely could be a very fantastic buy. I think it makes sense that so many institutions are picking this up, but the rate that they are picking this up at just shows how significant this company could be going forwards. So looking at a bit of a forecast into the next week for the stock price, guys, honestly, I personally do believe this one could go up this week, and I think it could be by a significant amount. I think we definitely do have that potential to break past the $3 range, maybe even hit the $3.20 range. I think that would be a fantastic point for this stock. But on my personal opinion as well, I think there is a small potential for this one to go down on Tuesday morning. Is that a bad thing? I personally do not believe it is. I think it definitely could also present a new opportunity to go in with this stock. But even if it was to go down after you were to enter your position, guys, in my personal opinions at least, I think this one is more of a buy and hold stock. I think if you are going to be buying it now, yes, we could be seeing big profits in the next month, in the next 2 months, in the next 3 months, but I'd be holding this one for a year just to see where we go with it, because I definitely do believe that that potential is there with the stock going forwards. I think it really could explode in price going forwards into the next year, maybe even past $5 or $10. I think it really is something that is on the table to possibly happen. So I think that Zomedica is definitely a fantastic buy right now. I think it does have a lot of potential going forwards, and of course a lot of institutions must agree with me because they are picking up a lot of shares. I think next week is hopefully going to be positive for the stock. I definitely think we could hit the $3.20 range, or at least the $3 range. I think if that is the case, it will be fantastic, guys. But of course, please do tell us what you are doing with Zomedica down in the comment section. Are you optimistic with it? Are you bullish or are you bearish? Are you buying more? Do you already own? Please tell us down below. And of course, if this video gets enough views and likes, I will make another episode, hopefully tomorrow, reacting to how this one has moved in the markets. So thank you so much for watching this episode, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening. Goodbye.